with a 1, 2, 3. You do it so ravenously.
I didn't get to eat today.
Can you at least eat them like a human being? How do you eat when you're hungry? Usually with a knife and fork.
A sandwich?
No, but you know, I take normal sized bites. It's like half the burger. I also don't get like 7 sandwiches from McDonald's.
I think that's 7.
How many did you get? Tell them. Tell them.
Well, I'm just gonna eat them.
Don't chew like that. I can hear it from all the way over here. Oh. I don't have to cut this up that much. You're like inhaling those things.
I didn't eat today.
So? You gonna give yourself a gastric bypass? Jesus Christ. What's wrong? You alright over there? Heartburn? Do you wonder why? I can hear you swallowing.
Whoa. I just ate 2 chicken sandwiches and I forgot this was a hamburger.
This isn't chicken.
This isn't chicken.
What the hell is this?
A Big Mac.
It's been 4.5 minutes. You've done a sandwich a minute. Instead of alcohol soaking my brain, it's now burger grease.
My jaw is tired.
Because you ate them all in 4 minutes. The fries, too.
Got nuggets. Do you want to do a podcast?
Are you going to survive doing a podcast?
I sure hope so.
Head in the game there, pal. Head in the game. Sounds like the game is in your throat. And of course, I mean, hit rapper the game.
Yeah, he was in my throat already.
Yeah, this guy deep-throated the game.
Wow, dude, I'm like seeing spots.
Yeah, that's the grease entering your eyes.
So, we didn't record last week because it was Memorial Day. Thanks to everyone who fights overseas. Oh, fuck.
That's not what Memorial Day is either.
It's remembering the ones who, weren't so lucky.
Kicked the fucking bucket.
But
Kicked the proverbial bucket.
But since it's past Memorial Day, it's Hawaiian shirt season.
What?
I only wear from Memorial Day to Labor. You know, you can only wear white pants from Memorial Day to Labor Day.
Sure.
I do the same. I do the same thing with Hawaiian shirts.
Why?
Because it's like,
It's my thing.
yeah,
I came up with it. Now
it's
it's
like
my
a
thing.
Charlie thing.
Oh, you're so quirky and cute.
Yeah, no, I took them all out of my bottom drawer. All like, remember I threw that Hawaiian themed party and everyone just dressed normally. So I dished out Hawaiian shirts to the entire party.
Yeah.
I'm like, just return it, just return it, just return it. Sign your name right here. And everyone had a fucking blast.
Well, I wouldn't go that far.
That was a fun night. That was the time we hung out in the back of Kramer's truck and just smoked cigars in it while everyone else was in my backyard.
Drank Jack on the Rocks, Jack and Cokes, which we were outside. It was not fitting for a Jack and Coke.
Yeah,
I also have a picture of that.
Oh, can we pull that up at some point?
Maybe.
We'll put it down there. All right, so welcome back. We watched a movie. We just got out of the theater. We watched Across the Spiderverse.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we were going to do that Charlie Day movie last week, and we didn't.
I still want to see it, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It got terrible reviews.
Well, we'll see. We'll have to review it.
Oh, my God.
Before we really dive in, should we give a shout out to our special viewer?
Who, the Riley?
Yeah, Riley. We want to
Who
talk.
requested we do Fool's Paradise, and then we didn't do it?
Now we're making a podcast episode about how we didn't. But Riley.
Shout out to you.
Riley, you're a real one. You always leave the best comments, really do a deep dive into cinema with us, and we just want you to know we appreciate you.
Truly a friend of the show.
Truly
An
a
actual
friend of the show. Yeah.
Unlike that Stavros piece of shit.
Yeah.
I hope you die, Stavros.
Yeah, but Riley, wherever you are in this world, thank you.
I hope you don't die.
Yeah, don't die.
Unlike
Riley.
that Stavros piece of shit. I actually like Stavros.
Yeah, me too. He actually really liked that video we made last week. But you know what, Riley? I appreciate you, and I hope life brings you joy. This McDonald's is really taking a toll on me.
So fuck you, Riley. But in Degenerates, that means we love you.
Yeah.
But definitely fuck you. I also want to fuck you.
You're losing me, Chief.
I don't need you. I've got Riley.
You heard the man.
Let's have sex, Riley.
How do we know Riley's not like a 10-year-old kid?
That's a risk I'm willing to take.
Oh boy, that's a real coin toss. Oh.
Clip it. Clip it and ship it, baby. Clip it and ship it.
Cut, print.
Send that to Twitter.
Hell yeah. So I guess the first thing I want to say is I loved this fucking movie.
This movie was fantastic.
It was great.
We like a Marvel movie, and that was the original Spider-Man Into the Spiderverse, and this one.
I mean,
The original one is my favorite animated film.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
And I think this one may have taken that place. We're going to have to find out.
Yeah, this one was really good.
This one was fucking insane. It was fucking...
It was just really... and also we're just coming back from the theater right now, and I also just downed a shit ton of food. So you're going to have to just bear with us while we get our thoughts together.
Yeah, we should probably rehearse these things like professionals. Nah, man.
Not us.
It's better from the top, you know?
Oh, yeah.
I guess we'll start off with a plot summary.
All right, folks. This week's plot summary with Keegan. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Spoilers ahead.
I never know when you're going to stop doing that. It's like I have to anticipate when you stop.
What do you got for me?
It's going to be really hard because it was a mind fuck, and I was enjoying it too much to devote it to memory. Miles, well, we open up with our friend Gwen, Gwen Stacy.
Playing the drums.
Playing the drums. It's slamming the drums. Banging those drums. And she's real mad. She's real upset. And then she...
You want me to do it?
No. This is my thing.
What is that you're drinking?
Purple stuff.
Purple Flurp?
No, purple stuff.
Gross.
What's that you're drinking?
Dr. Pepper?
Yeah?
That's how I drink.
Sensually? Drank it like you were making love to it.
Fuck yeah, because it's good. It's Dr. Pepper.
She gets into a fight with a version of the Vulture who is not from her universe, and then she gets some help from some multi-dimensional Spider-Man, including a pregnant lady, which I thought was funny. Yeah. Was she pregnant the whole movie?
Yeah.
Okay. And then she finds out there's like a interdimensional Spider-Man council of Spider-Men. Anyway, she joins up. Now she's multidimensional, which lands her back in Miles's universe, where he's now a big boy, and he has been fighting crime, and he misses Gwen because he has a little quashy-washy. And then, holy shit, this dude who looks like an ink blot test, Rorschach from The Watchmen, shows up, and he starts teleporting with holes and stuff, and they don't like that, and then he turns himself into an interdimensional god. And then what? Then what?
Then he
turns himself into a god. And all the Spider-Mens are like, we got to stop this guy. But they do that by trying to stop Miles for reasons I'm not going to get into because, you know.
He has a major key in this.
He's a major role.
Yeah.
It was a cool plot twist. So I'm not going to... this is the part that's going to get hard because I'm trying to like navigate through the plot without spoiling anything. Then it's all a happy ending, and they're all friends. Just kidding. There's a cliffhanger. There's going to be a second one. That's all I'm going to give you.
It works for me.
I'm done. I came. Get off your phone, dipshit.
I'm looking at the cast.
Why?
Because I had no idea all these people were the actors in it.
Well, there was like 90 billion Spider-Men.
I know, but it's funny. Okay, sweet. Cool. All right. So, let's start off by saying that this is a Lord Miller production. We did one of their movies already because I remember talking about it. But I don't remember which one we reviewed.
Lord Miller?
Yeah, it's Phil Lord and Chris Miller. I want to see if they...
Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey?
No.
You people?
I just want to see if they...
Black Adam?
If they wrote this and directed this one as well. Yeah, they wrote it. And they did not direct it, but the writing's what matters.
Not for this movie. This movie was a lot more than writing.
Well, it was more of like a generally speaking.
That's because he's a writer.
I just want to see what movie we did.
Don't listen to him. He doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about.
Oh, they produced Cocaine Bear.
Ugh.
That's what it was.
Ugh. Did they know it was turned out to be a steaming pile of bear shit?
That's funny because there was a bear in it. There was a bear in it.
That was funnier than the entire movie.
And it wasn't that funny.
Exactly.
I want to start off by saying I love Phil Lord and Chris Miller. I think they're fucking hilarious.
What else did they do?
They did...
He asked like he didn't know?
They did, they did both of these Spiderverse movies. They did the Lego movie.
Wow.
They did the Jump Street movies.
Oh, wow.
They did...
Uh-oh.
They did stuff.
Oh, he lost it.
I lost it.
Oh, he's down.
But I thoroughly enjoy their movies,
Except for Cocaine Bear.
except for Cocaine
I will never go out of my way to not make fun of Cocaine Bear.
Bear. Yeah. But anyway, in this movie, real quick, you can really see their style of humor in this movie. Because it has similar humor to the Lego movie, which I think the Lego movie's a funny fucking movie. I think it's really good too. It knows what it is.
Yeah.
And I think that's a key element.
This had a little homage to it, where there's
Yeah.
the Lego Spider-Man universe.
Yeah, we see a Lego Spider-Man, and a lot of the jokes in this movie, like if you're not paying attention, they will just like you will miss them.
Their jokes are very kind of off rhythm,
Yeah.
which I think is hilarious. They really like find little tiny secret pockets to throw a joke in.
It works every fucking time.
One of our favorites this time around is right after the big fight with Vulture. He like caves the roof in, and then Gwen catches a helicopter, and as it's about to fall on all these people, it stops, and somebody just yells out, that guy's driving pretty fast.
And furious.
Oh, let's never talk about those movies because I don't want to do them. So as the helicopter is about to land on it, stops in the webs. Some guy just goes, "Oh, I think that's a Banksy."
Yeah, and it's so weird.
They find like
But
perfect little pockets to throw a joke in. It feels like what the MCU tries to do all the time
It fails.
and sucks at. They're very the MCU's all their humor is very like on rhythm. Like you kind of almost expect jokes to be where the jokes are.
Thank God Sony owns Spider-Man.
That's the first time I've ever heard that.
I'm just saying.
Thank God Disney can't own Spider-Man. I think it's better to say.
Yeah.
I'm not sure we can give Sony too much credit, other than the fact that they just kind of look the other way.
You know what? It was me not wanting to give Disney credit.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what it was.
Sony's greatest strength is the fact that they go, just make a movie, we'll be over here.
Yeah.
If
Like,
more
it's-
companies did that, movies would be a lot better.
I know.
Just let your people do it. You know, whatever. Disney's too like up everyone's ass. It has to be exactly the same, or else people aren't gonna watch it.
Yeah. You want to make a risky film? No, thank you. But yeah, I love the style of humor in it. A lot of it was all very quick. Like everyone had these quick little lines, and
It's very fitting for a Spider-Man movie too,
Yeah.
because I think the live-action movies always missed out on that, and that's why they're so easy to kind of pick apart. When you're animating it, I think it's a lot easier to be really quick and kind of jittery.
and this movie, it flowed so nicely, like that. You know, it was very action packed, but it's such a perfect pace
Mhm.
that you could fit those little one-liners in there.
Yeah.
You know, it just everything fucking worked for me.
I think with this one and the original one, I think it's like they do a really good job at controlling their momentum, and
Yeah.
like they don't ever let it go. And like even the emotional moments are kind of, you know, tense in a way. Like they fit with the pace. Like even like things are slowing down, it's still at like a fast pace. It's just then the action happens and it's even faster, like cranks it up even more.
Yeah, I mean, I just thought, dude, it was such a perfect combination of everything. Like the action, along with the music, and just the animation style of everything, dude. It was just they
don't miss.
fucking knocked it out of the park.
They don't miss.
And one of my favorite parts of this movie was the villain. What is his name? Spot?
Yeah.
Dude, the fact that they took this weird chance on not having a bad guy, of being like a macho walking around like with big footsteps, like boom, boom, like
He had
now
such a
you're
go.
going
He
down.
was so goofy.
He was played by Jason Schwartzman,
I loved
which I
his.
thought was so fucking funny.
I loved his goofy, like, his like goofy body type. Like he had weird proportions. Like he didn't look like, he wasn't like, you know, chiseled or anything.
Yeah.
He looked like
just a guy,
just a dude. He looked like
and
a
you
scientist.
think he's in a suit, and then he's like, "This is my skin,"
He goes, unfortunately for both of us, this is my skin.
and he's just white with like black spots. But he didn't sound like a bad guy. He didn't look like a bad guy. But
he didn't even know how to use his powers.
Yeah, he didn't know how to use his powers, but that's what made him terrifying. It's like, this guy doesn't even know what the fuck he's doing.
Well, it's the contrast too, because then he kind of gets his shit together. He throws himself into another particle collider, and then he turns into a demigod. Like he turns into an interdimensional god, and he's no longer goofy.
Yeah,
he's terrifying.
Happened in like the last 10 minutes of the movie, or his last like 10 minutes on screen.
It happens. It happens like halfway through the movie, and then he kind of fucks off for a while.
Yeah,
he doesn't come back.
But he was like trying to rob a convenience store, like their ATM, because he can like take one of his like spots and put it on something and like reach through it. It's like a portal. So he's trying to like reach for the money in the ATM machine, but he doesn't know how to use it yet. So his arm will like wind up coming down over here, and he just gets all fucked up. And he was like, "Please let me rob you." And he's like, "You're making this really difficult for me."
He's like, "I'm not even really robbing you. The bank owns the ATM, doesn't it?" And the guy's like, "Fuck you."
Yeah, dude.
You're robbing me, bitch.
Dude, it was so funny. But again, it's like I liked when he was on screen. He was funny. Like, I liked the bad guy.
Yeah.
And he wasn't just, again, that stereotypical macho tough guy. He was like weaselly and fucking weird.
Yeah, well, they went with a kind of not cliche, like a basic character motivation where he was like, "Oh, turns out that Miles accidentally turned him into whatever he was by destroying the particle collider. He blamed him." Very basic. You know, we didn't even know he existed.
Yeah, it was like I'm a scientist. He was literally like, because it's always like that story of I was a scientist and you rejected my whatever and now I'm evil. But he was like, I was a scientist and you threw a bagel at me.
I love how they inserted him into the original one, because obviously he's not in the original one.
Yeah.
But then that's kind of part of his character, is that he's like a nobody.
Yeah.
And he was like, I was in the cafeteria, and then it cuts back to him like holding a food tray. He's like, "You hit me with a bagel," and then it shows him just getting pelted in the face with a bagel.
Yeah, he's like, "And now I'm evil." And it's like, that's fucking hilarious that you take those actual, like, the first thing I think of is fucking Iron Man 3. When like, what's his name? Fucking the guy from Memento. Guy Pierce. Is it Guy Pierce? I don't know. Whatever.
Guy Smiley?
He's like, "I was a scientist and I came to you and you just brushed me off." And he was like ugly and he had like a cane and a limp, but now it's years later.
Oh, you mean Elon Musk?
Yeah, he's got like a good haircut and he's like jacked and he's all suit and handsome, and it's like, ugh. But this guy was like, "You hit me with a bagel and now I'm this." And it's just like,
he's like, "You took everything from me, now I'm going to take everything from you."
Yeah, he just like totally mocked it.
It was a very Electro. Remember Jamie Foxx in that one Spider-Man movie
that everyone tries to forget?
Yeah, that they tried to do the same thing, but it sucked.
Yeah, I saw that movie when it came out. I think I was in like 8th grade or 9th grade. I don't know. I got a hand job. It was just me. I was jacking it in the theater.
All right.
To blue Jamie Foxx.
Okay, Pee Wee Herman.
Where's my bike?
Where's my balls?
Where's my bike?
Where's my cum?
Here comes Bob.
Here comes my cum.
Ow.
Here comes that heart attack. Oh my god. Here, puke in this trash can, not on my fucking floor. Oh my god. Jeez. Moral of the story, kids, don't eat 5 McDonald's sandwiches in one sitting.
We can cut this out.
Well, I'm not.
I'm good. I just coughed. It was just a cough.
Yeah, that's what they all say. No, you keep that. Okay. You're taking the trash bag with you, too.
I didn't do anything.
I heard you spit. Better to quitters, man.
Never said I was a winner.
I said quitter.
I know. Anyway, the humor in this movie was great. Are we still talking about that? Yeah. So. Ow. Yeah. So besides talking about Pee Wee Herman, you were bringing up Jamie Foxx's Electro.
They tried that in that movie, but that movie sucked.
Yeah.
You know what it is too? A lot of things. This movie didn't do like there were some things in this movie that it wasn't like groundbreaking. Like there was some stuff where it was just kind of like okay, and I think the humor, a lot of the jokes were that where it was like the same kind of humor that MCU is always going for.
Yeah.
But it's the fact that everything around it was so well done that you excuse when a joke doesn't land. Like, not every joke made me laugh my fucking dick off.
Yeah, it was like, I
mean, a lot of them really got me good. But, like, some of them were, like, basic corny jokes. And that's okay because, like, everything around it is so good that you can let a few slide. And that's, like, I think that's a big thing with a lot of the movies we do. Like when we seem really nitpicky, it's because the movie around it is so bad, it makes it an easy target to like be like, oh, this all sucks. And what's worse is that everything around it sucks.
Yeah.
But
so
like
you can really just
the bad parts of this movie are surrounded by so much good that you don't even really pay attention to it.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, like,
it's the same jokes, it's the same like
when
the humor was basically the Lego movie. Like it was there, you could see it. But like you don't mind because you're also watching like a beautiful action movie, animation, like groundbreaking animation, all this crazy shit. And you're just kind of like, yeah, if a few jokes don't land, that's fine. Let it slide.
Like there's no other animated movie like this.
Oh, this was like I said, this is probably taking the place for my favorite animated movie.
Yeah, and dude,
with the first one being only second.
What I love too, like I got the vibe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like when they showed Brooklyn and like all like the way they did it, like I got it, man. Like,
everything
he was wearing like Nike fucking Air Jordan kicks and fucking there were like these little bodegas and shit on like all the street corners. Like they just captured.
Yeah, oh yeah, this movie is very New York. It's very New York. Well, I think that the biggest strength with this movie and the original one too is it has its own unique DNA and everything stems from it. So it all feels connected. The soundtrack, the colors palettes, the cinematography, the action, the animation. It all works together because it all like comes from the same place and it all works in like beautiful symmetry.
Yeah. One thing I really liked about it is there's like this elite group of Spider-Mans and they just like don't want Miles Morales in it because he was not supposed to be Spider-Man.
Yeah, he's the only Miles.
Yeah.
The rest of them are Peters or Gwens or he's the only Miles.
Yeah, and it's like halfway in, he literally finds out that all of his friends just didn't keep in touch with him because he's just not even supposed to be who he is in the first place. And you're just like, fuck. And it was told so well, and then he follows Gwen into that elite universe and just sees that everyone is Peter Parker and just sees all these different Spider-Men, and it's run by what was his fucking name? Miguel.
Yep.
And
I just wanted to say Manuel.
He goes and they're trying to like capture Miles to just send him home or whatever. No, keep him from going home because he's gonna fuck up their timeline. And Miguel goes, he's like, everyone get Spider-Man. He's trying to escape, and all the Spider-Men are just like, huh. And he's like trying to escape. He's like, can this get any weirder? And then a fucking T-Rex dressed as Spider-Man comes out and tries to fucking eat him. Dude, it was all over the place, but it was so fucking good.
Yeah, well, it's and like I said, it the whole time too. It's a big chase sequence. So like, while you're like worried he's not gonna, escape the escape sequence, there's these jokes that are just like, it's like somebody running being pelted with tomatoes. Like, it's just funny.
Yeah,
but like
you're gonna
just
laugh.
You're just like, this is great. Like, and but there's still like, well, I hope they get to the finish line. Like,
yeah,
there's two things can happen at the same time. I can hope he's gonna escape while laughing at him and their attempts to stop him, which is great. This movie balances everything so well. The soundtrack was
hell yeah,
fucking awesome.
perfect.
And I know we've talked about soundtracks in the past. I can't remember which episode exactly. There was a movie we did. It was just, maybe it was Guardians, or it was just random songs for no reason.
Yeah, it was Guardians.
It shows you how much I pay attention to that movie. That was like an episode ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was 2 weeks ago.
No, but the music. So exact contrast with that, with Guardians is where the music in this, even though it was popular music and it was like, it was
everyone knows the song.
Yeah, there was some Biggie in there. There was there were popular songs.
Yeah,
but it's baked into the DNA of the movie. Like, there's reasons the music is being picked.
yeah, it's not just put this song in because it's a popular 70s song.
I like The Creep.
Yeah, it's like put in
Play Radiohead by The Creep.
Creep by Radiohead.
What?
Unless we're in a different universe.
Oh my god. There was original scores and they were so nice and pretty, but then the music everybody knows fit the scene that it was in and boosted it, and I loved it.
Yeah. If we're talking about soundtracks, funny story. If you've seen the first Spiderverse, there's a song in it that was written for the movie called What's Up Danger.
What up, Danger?
Don't be a stranger. And one of the artists in that song, Blackway,
he's the only one.
Yeah. He came out with a song with Busta Rhymes or something. And a friend of the podcast.
No, he isn't.
To say the least.
No, he isn't. Enemy of the podcast.
Did a music video for that song. Then I got put in touch with Blackway because he wanted to make a TV show. So I wound up writing him like 3 versions of a pilot. And then he liked the direction that I put it in, And then like 3 weeks later calls me that he doesn't like it. So I write him another
Those
pilot.
rappers can be real finicky guys.
So I write him another pilot with his notes. And he goes, I love it. And he goes, let's meet up. So I meet up with Blackway and a couple other people that want to be part of the project. And at the end of the meeting, he goes, so how we paying for this thing?
Well, let me call up my bank real quick. And
you're the guy who has the song in the movie that won the Oscar. I don't have any money. These shoes were $44.
They don't pay you for these kind of things, huh?
Yeah, right. So I was like, yeah, I don't really know how we're supposed to do that. You just asked me to write you something. So then it all just fell apart. Haven't talked to him since. He became a stranger.
What up, Danger?
What up, Danger?
Yeah, well, somebody's job was to do that, and they didn't because they suck at everything they do.
That's a little inside joke there for us.
I hope he watches this. Fuck you.
Anyway, we're not talking about Blackway.
He doesn't watch it either. I know for a fact.
Why would he? Anyway.
Oh,
Yeah.
Why would you?
Yeah. Why would you? One of my favorite aspects of this movie, I loved Miles's relationship with his dad when he was Spider-Man.
Yeah.
That was just something to me I just loved. Like when he's dressed up as Spider-Man, he's like, "How's everything with your kid?" And he's like, "I don't fucking know." And he's like, "Maybe you should get off his ass." He's like, "What?" He's like, "Ah."
Gee, Chuck, I wonder why you like that scene so much.
At least I know my father.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, my dad was a dick, so I'm happy I don't know him. You know, I met my uncle into like adulthood, and he told me that he's like, we don't speak to your father anymore either. I was like, why is that? He goes, well, it's your grandmother's funeral. He's like, he called a little 10-year-old girl an asshole and then left. I was like, that tracks. Man, that guy hates kids, huh? First he leaves me, and he calls a little girl an asshole. What a gem.
I wonder who the girl was.
I don't know.
What could she have been doing at a funeral?
I think he was just a very irritable person. I don't know. He also goes, I walk in, he like gives me a hug. He's like, oh, he's like, you look just like him. And I went, I wouldn't know. And he went, ah, that's a good one. I was like, I know that's
I'm
what.
trying to picture like an older you.
I don't have any pictures of him. He showed me a picture of him. I do bear resemblance to my father. Shockingly.
As you should.
Shockingly. I actually look more like the milkman. That's kind of weird. Kind of weird there was a milkman. What?
Oh,
what year is it? How old am I?
Milkman.
I'm an eternal.
Your wife.
You want it pasteurized? No, just up to my boobs will do.
Splash it in my eyes if I want. Yeah, so I did like his relationship with his father in the movie. I thought that it was very it's a word I'm looking for that I can't seem to find. Heartfelt?
Man, this joke just keeps writing itself. What is that? What is the word for when you have a good relationship with your father? I can't quite put my tongue on it.
You don't even know.
Don't look at me. That's what I mean.
Who am I going to look at? The fucking unicorn on the wall?
Don't talk about Megatron like that. I love him more than both of our fathers. That's a lie. I really like Rob.
Hey, Dad. Shout out
Hey,
to
Pops.
you. Pops, you're all right.
When me and Charlie first started hanging out, his dad came out of the house. We were picking him up, and he like stuck his head in the car door, and he was like, "How's it going, fellas?" We were like, "It's going all right, Mr. Compono." And he goes, he's like, "What are you guys doing tonight?" We're like, "Just hanging out." And he goes, "You guys aren't drinking, are you?" We're like, probably not." He goes, "All right. You're not driving and drinking, are you?" We're like, "No, we're going to try not to." He goes, "All right. Because if you did, I'd light your car on fire." We went, "All right." And he went, "All right." And he just walked off. I was like,
what a guy.
I think I was with Nick. I don't know.
Yeah.
I turned and I was like, "You believed him, right?" And he's like, "Oh, I believed every word."
We were like 16, 17.
I wasn't even drinking at that age.
Yeah. Oh.
You were.
I've always had a drinking. I wouldn't call it a problem, but I've had like.
I've always had a drinking situation.
Yeah, because it's not a problem.
Sure.
I'm not in denial.
Okay.
I'm not.
Right.
But I'm just saying there were times where I've gotten a little.
Really? When?
Well, I'm not going to talk about my entire history here.
I got a logbook somewhere around here.
That's right here.
Oh, yeah. That's every time Charlie's ever gotten drunk.
It's a lot of fucking times.
A lot of fucking notes.
It's a lot of fucking notes. Yeah. So.
Oh, we should also mention we didn't write any notes for this movie.
Yeah, that's why we're kind of.
It's gonna be a little spastic this episode.
Yeah, you know what it is too. Though?
I was too sucked in. I completely forgot, and I only write notes when it's something I don't like.
Why don't we talk about the end?
Do we want to talk about the end?
I mean, it's a big part of.
All right,
movie.
I figured we'd talk about all the other stuff first, but yeah.
Well, Miles escapes back home because there's an actual spider that when you want to go.
I love that it was just named the Go Home Machine.
Yeah, that's
so lazy.
I know. It's called the Go Home Machine, and it's a spider that when you're in that elite spider universe, you want to go
I don't know
home.
if it was elites. I think it was just a society of Spider-Men.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a universe of just Spider-Man,
that's
but
what
there
they-
was like the elite group.
Well, they
that would
told
go there.
Miles that it was like an elite group he wasn't allowed to be part of because they were tricking him.
Yeah.
But it was
they
really just because he wasn't actually supposed to be a Spider-Man. So they were like, you're the anomaly.
Yeah, it's like you somehow broke this rhythm. But anyway, so he goes into the Go Home Machine, and it's like a spider comes down and like builds like a webbed wall, and it's like, and then it just kind of zaps you home. So he goes home and he decides to confront his parents and tell them that he's Spider-Man. So he goes and he's like, I'm Spider-Man, and his mom's like, I don't know who that is.
Who the fuck is Spider-Man?
He's like, like Spider-Man. She's like, oh, like when you dress up and go to Comic-Con? He's like, yeah, but I'm Spider-Man.
That should have tipped well, this is because we're not like nerds.
Yeah.
That should have tipped us off long before. I didn't even catch on to it until just now, but because his universe, everything's like backwards.
Yeah.
Like they don't have Comic-Con. That's why he said, I don't even know what that is.
Yeah.
He was in like regular Earth. Isn't Earth 42 like the normal Earth?
Yeah, I think so.
The Earth that like doesn't have superheroes?
Yeah, something. So then his fucking Uncle Aaron walks through the door, and you're like, what the fuck? And you find out that he actually didn't get sent home. He got sent to an alternate universe. It's like, oh shit.
Well, he gets it's very complicated.
Yeah.
I don't know
That's
how
why it's hard to talk about.
I don't know how
so much happened. It was also like a 2.5 hour long movie.
I also don't know like how in depth I want to go. Like if you haven't seen it, go see it now, then come back and finish the podcast. How about that?
That's a good idea.
If not, here we go. The spider that bit Miles was from a different universe. So when he goes back into the Go Home Machine, it reads your DNA and then sends you to the appropriate universe. But since he's filled with other universe DNA, it sends him to the wrong universe.
Yeah.
So he gets sent to Earth 42, which is where the spider's from, and not him.
Yes.
So then...
Well, then they fucking find out.
Yeah.
And his uncle fucking ties him up to a heavy bag.
Again.
And while that's happening, Gwen decides to go on a rescue mission because she figures out that he's in the wrong reality.
Which is fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
With the moody Spider-Man.
Yeah.
The walls seem to be normal, but...
Yeah, dude, I love that was Andy Samberg.
Yeah.
He was like, I'm trying to figure out something.
There's an anomaly in the alleyway. I better go check it out.
Yeah. And he's like,
he was like narrating himself.
Yeah, he's like, that wall is fine. That wall is fine, but it's this part in the middle, and it's like an open portal. He's like, it's this part right here that's weird.
Yeah, Gwen webs him and then pulls him into the portal.
Yeah. So she like rallies up these Spider-Men, and like at the end, she's like, I made a crew of my own, and it's like all the Spider-Men from the first one. It's like Spider Pig, or what was it? It was
he in there?
Spider Ham.
Spider Ham?
Yeah. He didn't have
it.
any lines.
Well, yeah, John Mulaney was probably in rehab.
Yeah. Yeah, and the noir Spider-Man was in it, and then Miles is tied up to the heavy bag, and then his self from that
Woof.
universe is like, I'm Miles.
I'll throw you a
Morales.
lifeline whenever you want.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of it.
In Earth 42, Miles becomes the Prowler.
Yeah.
That's what you're trying to say.
Yeah. So then, so then Gwen rounds up her troops, and they all like jump out of frame to go save the day, and then it just fucking to be continued.
Yeah, it was a giant cliffhanger. That whole thing was just for us to say it's a cliffhanger. Which I normally I don't like when they split movies in half.
Yeah.
But this was so much like how like a part of the way through I was like, this is a long fucking movie.
Yeah, there was a lot.
Like I didn't want it to end, but at the same time I was like, okay, I mean, I'm not even mad.
It was.
I know. That was what I watched over the weekend. I think it was last weekend actually. I don't remember. I watched all the Hunger Games movies.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. You know,
You know what? I can't even say that because I saw the first one, liked it.
I liked the first
saw the
one.
Second one.
Second one was a good improvement, and then the last two sucked.
Yeah, the second one was cool because it again, it brought back the elites.
Yeah,
It's
it
like,
kind
you
of
guys are the best of the best. Let's see what happens. But I never saw the other two.
It upped the ante, and then when it should have gotten really good, it got really bad.
Yeah, what were they? It's Catching Fire.
Probably, I don't know. I don't know the subtitles of the cat. No,
I don't know. I think it's called like Ring of Fire. It's like
it was they split it in half for no reason, and it made for two longer, more boring movies.
Yeah,
instead of one really good tight movie.
Yeah, I only saw the first two.
I'm pretty sure, I could be wrong, that the books are a trilogy. That was a big thing in Hollywood where they would like split up the last two movies for no reason. They did it with Harry Potter,
Hunger Games.
A bunch of them. They were just splitting up. The Hobbit movies should have been one movie.
Yep, they did that.
If a story is not meant to be a trilogy, you can't turn it into a trilogy because you're going to lose out. You're taking what is essentially one story arc and fragmenting it, and then you have to come up with some bullshit to make it into a trilogy. Is its own arc, like it's its own story through over the course of the three movies. If you write that intentionally, that's one thing. If you don't do it intentionally, that's another thing. And it's possible you can do that. The Pirates of the Caribbean movie was supposed to be one movie.
Yeah.
And then it turned into, six, but originally it turned into a trilogy.
It was one, and then, they filmed, because what they do is they wrote the second one, and then, they obviously split it in half because they filmed them at the same time.
Yeah.
Which is fucking crazy. But yeah, so but that worked because at the second one, Jack winds up going down with the ship, not by choice. He gets fucking handcuffed to the fucking post.
Yeah.
Well, actually, that's not true because then at the end he goes to fight it. And then I love how the third one opens up with him just losing his fucking mind in Davy Jones's locker.
Eating a peanut.
He's like, more peanut. And there's like
cutting it with a knife and fork.
Yeah, he's like, and there's that one Jack Sparrow that goes to like make out with that goat. But there are movies that it's not really all tied together. I mean, you look at Indiana Jones.
Mm-hmm.
I know they made a fourth and the fifth is coming out soon, which I do want to review. But like
that's a tall order, guy.
But the first three, there's not a whole lot that's connecting them.
Well, that's your only two choices in a trilogy are 3 movies or one trilogy.
Yeah.
There's some movies that are called trilogies and they don't share characters. They don't share anything. Edgar Wright's movies, Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, and something World's End. No, is it?
Yeah, The World's End.
That's known as a trilogy just because the styles are similar and he kind of made them all back to back, but it has nothing to do with each other.
Yeah, that's something you'd see in like a box set.
Yeah. Well, not even.
These are kind of the same.
Yeah, they describe the name of it is whatever that the 3 ice cream flavors. How
Neapolitan.
Yeah, I think they call it something different in the UK. It's strawberry, vanilla, chocolate, 3 different flavors, 1 box. Yeah. That was the
name of the game.
That's what that one. But yeah, it's either. I mean, it doesn't. I think it's when you mix the two together that it kind of gets all fucked up.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of an example.
What, of trying to
I think the Hobbit's
workshop.
The Hobbit's a good example because they just had to come up with random shit that didn't originally exist, and it was worse.
What bothers me is I'm always like, why can't they just leave it alone? And I know the answer is money, but it's like, just leave it alone.
I don't even blame them so much because people keep going to see them.
That's true.
I don't understand.
Hobbit movies gross fucking billions.
I don't understand why people are going to see it.
Why would you want to ruin that?
It's almost guaranteed to be a worse version of what you like. And so it's like, why even bother?
Yeah, and that's the one thing that's, the only reason why I want to see the new Indiana Jones is because I know how much Harrison Ford cares for that character.
Yeah, but he's like 80.
I know, but the thing is that worries me is I fucking hated the Crystal Skull.
because he was like 70.
And now he's
And
80.
now he's even older.
Yeah, but I mean, and you know what? And I love the first 3 Pirates of the Caribbean. Fourth one was okay. Fourth one was...
That was the prequel or something?
No, the fourth one was the one with the fucking mermaid. It was like the off-brand Will and Elizabeth.
Yeah, it was like a prequel. I'm pretty sure.
I don't think it was.
It was like a separate thing. I think
Yeah, it was like separate, but
I think it was before. I think that was supposed to be a prequel. Like it was before.
Well, the fifth one they actually showed a prequel, which I hated. They showed how Jack Sparrow became Jack Sparrow, and I fucking hated that because not only was it lazy, it just totally ruined his character of the last 3 or 4 fucking movies. He was interesting because he was so mysterious. He has a compass that points to what you want most. That's cool. Where'd he get it? I don't fucking know, but it's cool that he has it.
It's the Han Solo effect.
Yeah. Where they
You finally
drain the mystery.
Yeah, you finally got a Han Solo movie, and all it did was explain all the shit you didn't want to know about.
Yeah.
I don't care where he got his gun. It just looks cool. Fuck you.
Yeah. Like, I don't
Why do you feel the need to explain these things?
Yeah.
They in that movie, they explained how he got his name. Like, motherfucker, I just assumed he was born with it.
Yeah, I thought
his parents didn't name him? Why do I need to know this?
Yeah,
This doesn't need to be a plot element.
Ugh, I hate that. I hate that so much.
You know what? It drives me wild too with that movie. Not so much Pirates of the Caribbean, but with Star Wars is like it's somebody else's characters. Like that bothers me to my core.
Well, George Lucas completely regrets.
Well, yeah, he jumped ship. He shouldn't have sold it off to a bunch of people that don't actually give a fuck. In his defense, he was selling it to one of the richest companies on the planet. But I mean, like, I hate how they're going back and just like using his character like that. Oh my, it really breaks my heart. I'm not even a big Star Wars fan, but like to see the way like Mark Hamill talked about Luke Skywalker in the sequel.
I know, it's crazy.
He hated it. And that's like, dude, that is Mark Hamill.
Yeah. I mean, they did the worst possible thing. I mean, you made like 8 more movies since they got the rights, yet Han Solo and Luke Skywalker like never shared a scene together.
Yeah,
they never there was never anything. They turned Mark Hamill from the last Star Wars that I remember. I haven't seen all of them. He was like alone on an island. He was like a little fucking. He was just living in like isolation.
Yeah,
in like a cave or some shit.
Mark Hamill famously called that character Jake Skywalker because he didn't think it was Luke's at all. He was like, "This isn't the character I played."
Yeah,
however many years ago, which is like I can't imagine.
It's like, then how do you even get on board? And again,
I just can't imagine like
money, but it's like, where's the pride? Where's the dignity?
I just think it's like, I wouldn't want to be on either end of that. I wouldn't want somebody to take my characters and try to write them and fuck it up. I also wouldn't want to take somebody else's characters, write for them, and fuck them up.
It's like weird. It's like, oh, here's a bunch of established characters. I have to try to just write it. I don't know these characters. I don't,
Or at the very least, like try to understand the character and do what they do. Like with your short film, I had nothing to do with the writing process at all, but I tried to figure out what the characters were, and then when the actor was trying to be that character, I was like, you're doing it wrong.
Yeah, you approached me a couple times like, hey, wouldn't maybe this guy do this instead? And I'm like, yeah, okay, you might be right. Let's go for it. It's
like, but that it's not hard. They took these fucking characters that weren't theirs and then they changed them. Like, you don't get to do that. Yeah. You don't get to do that. And people are like, oh, but I like the character development. It's not development. That's a different character. Just write a new character. You can't just write a new character and then slap Luke Skywalker's name on it.
I mean, that's what you could say with anything because everything is a fucking reboot now. It's a reboot, sequel, prequel.
It's even worse when it's just clearly a story somebody wrote and then changed all the names to fit. Like, wow, clever guys, you got us.
What bothers me the most is just the blatant unnecessary remakes. Like, I'm not gonna touch on the controversy over it, but like The Little Mermaid.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck? Dude, did you see what the friends look like in this?
No.
The crab and the fish.
I have no.
It's like bloop, bloop, and the crab. The crab looks like when Mr. Krabs, like in SpongeBob, when they all like cannonball out of the water onto land and they're all like popsicle sticks. That's what this crab looks like. And it's like, is it even Jamaican? Wasn't it a Jamaican lobster who's like under the sea? And this is just like a weird fucking.
Yeah. What's his name?
Yeah, whatever. But it's like.
Was he Jamaican?
I think he was like,
He had a Caribbean accent.
Yeah. But now it's like a weird, just like.
Well, yeah. The Disney live action remakes, huge air quotes for that one.
Because you know what it is?
They're terrible. I don't understand it either. It's like they have no chance of being good, but people just keep fucking lining up to see them.
Terrible.
The movies were so good because they were animated. You can't take that away and then be like, here's a movie.
And again, that was during that, what did we call it? It was like the golden age of...
They either call it the Disney Golden Age or I think it was a Disney Renaissance, something like that.
Yeah, something. But again, The Little Mermaid came out in 88?
It's an older one, yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, and I think Lion King was 92, Aladdin was 91, I think like Emperor's New Groove, I think that was a lot later. I think that was like 2000. But still, it's like those movies, like they're special for a reason. They had, this is so tacky. There was a magic element to it. It felt magical. The twirling and the sparkle and the movement.
It's the animation.
Yeah.
That's what made that possible.
And now you have just this dog shit fucking... It's like, dude, if you want to watch The Little Mermaid, just go fucking watch The Little Mermaid. I don't need to watch it again worse.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's really getting in the way of like new things.
Yeah.
Like, we could be moving on to new ideas.
Yeah, but you know what it is? The fact that these are now still making so much money, other people want to start doing it because like, oh, well, they're profiting because it's safe. It's a familiar name. It's a familiar story. Like now, I think like The Rock just signed on to a live action Moana. I'm like, what the fuck?
Just came out.
I know. Just came out like maybe it's 7 years ago.
Yeah. Why do we?
And I like Moana. I wasn't crazy about a lot of it, but it's like why? I'll just go watch it.
Yeah, it's still there.
It didn't go anywhere. Dude, there are movies from the fucking 30s you can go watch. Dude, I will say the worst part about what we watched today, it's called Across the Spiderverse. And there was this fucking 90-year-old guy sitting next to me in the movie theater. It's always one.
Yeah.
And he was like, why the hell are there so many Spider-Men?
What's with all the Spider-Men?
That's not cinema.
This is not movies.
Where's Paul Newman? You ever see a movie called Cool Hand Luke?
What the hell's a spider?
And why is he a man?
Where?
Dude, it was so fucking annoying. And like his daughter's trying to explain. She's like, Dad, no, because he went through the portal. Hey!
What the hell's a portal?
You got all these Spider-Men running around. I can't even tell who was who. Why is he black? It's like, oh... Whoa.
Why didn't he just shoot him?
Why didn't you just
shoot him like we did to the boys in the war?
The war! It's like, oh my God. And the guy wouldn't shut the fuck up. And then he like left to go to the bathroom. He comes back. The only thing, through all the action, through all the music, the only thing I hear is this old fuck walking up the steps. And then he leans over. What did I miss? And the daughter's like, oh, well, what happened was, I'm like, can you shut the fuck up?
Did this movie turn into Casablanca while I was gone?
Here's to looking at you, kid. I'm like, dude, I'm going to knock this old fuck out. Boom. Help me, I can't get up. Now stay down, bitch. Stay down, motherfucker. Stay down. Stay down, man. I'm going to put you down and make you stay there, man. Fuck you up.
What the fuck are you doing?
Let my street out, man.
That was not street.
Yeah, bitch.
That was like Marky Mark.
Yeah, man. Fucking stay down. Yeah.
Whose fucking car we taking?
Yeah, who's fuck? That's not
I know. I know.
Boston. It's Boston. Hey.
I'm Bill fucking Burr.
I'm fucking... Dude, Bill Burr. Yeah, so I go to see the fucking... Little Mermaid. She's black. Yeah, what the fuck? That's my Bill Burr.
All right.
Lay it on me. What do you got?
You want me to do Bill Burr?
Yeah.
I'm bald.
I'm a bald ginger. I'm a bald fucking redhead.
Roofing in July.
Yeah,
I don't do impressions. I don't know what you want from me.
Fucking Mark Wahlberg.
Well, so you talked about the magic of animation.
Yeah.
This movie, full of it. I think this movie is a great return to that. Like they give so much of a shit. I think that's
they took because what we spoke about in the car.
The animation. Like the first one. Everybody knows this by now, but the first one was phenomenal because just the amount of work they put in to make it special was it was mind blowing. I don't know if I probably told you this. I don't know. You've probably read it, but in the first one, when they were animating Miles, when he's beginning as Spider-Man, they animated him at a lower frame rate. They animated him. I don't know the exact numbers, but it creates like a more jittery kind of clumsy animation style. And then as the movie goes on, they keep adding more and more frames, which makes the picture look smoother. It makes it look more, animated. So he goes from like really jittery animation to the end of the movie where he's just gliding and sliding and flying. And that little tiny detail
tells the story.
It makes like I can't even put into words what it does for a movie.
Yeah.
And then you now fast forward to this movie. I didn't know how the fuck they were gonna top that, but holy shit! Every different Spider-Man has a different style, has a different art style. All their universes have different styles to them. Gwen's universe is all hand painted. Yeah. It's like, what is happening? This is amazing.
This is what you get when you take your time. The first one came out in 2018 or very early 2019. I think it was 2018.
They announced this one almost right away.
Yeah.
And then we didn't see it till 2023.
Yeah, 5 years. And now it's like, again, this is what I don't call it this, but it's like the Deadpool effect. Ryan Reynolds spent so much time working on Deadpool, trying to get it made, this, and that. And it became a
10 years.
Fucking hit. It was a phenomenon. And then he came out with another one like a year and a half later, and I fucking hated it. There was a few things I liked, but I don't
know about hating it. It was definitely way more forgettable.
Yeah, that's what I barely remember it. He was like calling him Thanos because it was the same actor, Josh Brolin. I'm like, hi, yeah. But it's like it was too Ryan Reynolds for me.
I don't know. They really cranked out another one.
Yeah, and yeah, exactly. But it's like with this, you take your time, and I get you need a lot of time to animate it.
Yeah,
but
well, I mean, even the way
they worked on the story for a long time.
The way they animated was just like there's a scene where Gwen is fighting with her dad, and first of all, every conversation she has with her dad was the backgrounds were insane. Like there was so much going on.
Yeah,
it was almost distracting. Like I was almost incapable of like taking it all in because I was like distracted. Like there were scenes where he was painted like darker than she was, or they go to hug and the whole room fills with bright pink colors, but it's all hand painted and you can see the brushstrokes. But the best was when they're fighting. Gwen has this big monologue where she basically lampoons her father with "you're a shithead."
Yeah.
Just absolutely fucking dresses him down. But as it's going on and on, her monologue is going on, she's getting more emotional. The paint of the background starts seeping. Like water starts running down the walls, and it turns all into watercolor. And it's just, there's water pouring out of the walls. And it's like, dude, that is fucking next level animation.
Yeah, and you want to know what's so funny to contrast that? The bad guy in this movie was just like white and black scribbles. Yeah. It was I don't want to say it was lazy because it wasn't lazy, but it had this look of just the most plain, because that's who he was.
Yeah, there was a reason. Well, because then when he goes into the particle accelerator and he comes back out, he's completely different. He looks more like black static.
Yeah.
He has this like TV static look to him. Where he's like, or it just kind of looks like somebody took a pen and like really like scribbled him in. Yeah, we didn't get to see too much of that version of the character. He keeps like entering into like Miles's like memories and like mind, which I thought was pretty cool. But
Yeah.
I feel like the next movie will probably obviously see way more of him.
Yeah, I'm sure. And I'm looking forward to seeing more of everyone else, like because they brought back Nick Cage's Spider-Man, John Mulaney's Spider-Man, Andy Samberg's a Spider-Man now. Like I'm excited to see all these fucking people.
Yeah, so that goes back to how every Spider-Man has its own style. Every character has its own style. Like, and it like really not exaggerate. It's every single character has a different artistic style.
Yeah, you don't ever see two Spider-Men that look the same.
The Vulture that infiltrates into Gwen's world is from a version of Spider-Man that is all a Renaissance drawing. Like was it a Da Vinci drawing?
Yeah.
So he's
shit like that.
He's on like parchment paper, like coffee stained parchment paper, and all of there's like numbers floating around him all the time because it's like supposed to be like out of Da Vinci's notebook. It's just like it's mind blowing. It's like it's crazy
It's so good. It was, and everything just flowed so smoothly. The action scenes were done so well. Like. Plus, we saw it in IMAX. I've never really gone out of my way to watch an IMAX movie, but dude, this fucking kicked ass.
Absolutely, go see this in IMAX. It was a good movie to
see in IMAX.
We did it by accident too. We didn't even mean to.
We did. It was an accident.
It's gonna make it really hard to watch it on my TV.
Yeah,
but it was a great experience.
Fuck yeah!
It was just like so much love and care poured into it. It's like the exact kind of movie I wish would get made.
And that's what you appreciate as a film goer. You know,
it makes the difference. Even if you don't know it's making the difference, I guarantee you all your favorite movies that are like a step above.
Because we walked out of the theater and I was like, oh shit. And you're like, save it for the podcast, save it for the podcast. I'm like, dude, but it was fucking pretty good. You're like, well, that's an understatement. I'm like, I know, I'm trying to save it for the podcast.
It's fucking phenomenal.
But there's so much in it that it's difficult to talk about.
Yeah,
it's.
I mean, it is
one of those movies.
It is our job.
I know, but
I don't know. Like, I also don't want to like.
Yeah, I don't want to give a lot away.
If you haven't seen it before watching, we won't mind this time around. Pause the show, go watch it because it was just
it's worth the time.
It's an experience that can't be translated in words. I think that's our problem right now. Is that like there was so much good, it's hard to talk about. Like we're sitting in the theater usually like joking back and forth.
Writing notes.
We exchanged like 2 or 3 sentences.
One of the sentences you were like, "Does it smell like beans?"
Yeah, somebody started eating. Somebody started eating pizza or something.
Yeah, dude, I'm like into the movie. I'm watching it like this. I'm like, and then this fuck next to me in his poncho goes, "Hey, does it smell like beans in here?" I'm like, "What?" It's like, "Does it smell like beans in here?" I'm like, the fuck are you talking about? And then the other old guy next to me was like, beans. We
used to eat those in the war.
I'm like, everyone needs to shut the fuck up so I can watch this goddamn movie.
You were locked in. There was none.
But then 5 minutes later, I started to smell beans. So I tap you on the shoulder. I'm like, dude, it smells like fucking beans in here. Some shit, whatever it was.
It smelled like pizza crust, but just the crust.
Just smelled like bread.
Smelled like who's baking bread in here?
It's the old guy. I've had it. I'm making a pizza.
I brought a pizza oven.
I brought a pizza. Anybody want a bite? All right. Well, I guess we'll sign off. Definitely go see the movie. It was fucking good. And yeah, I would rate this a fucking. You know what it is? I gotta wait to see the third one. Because they kind of go hand in hand.
That's true.
But right now,
it was split down the middle.
Yeah, but right now, I'd give this a solid like a solid 9 out of 10.
That's it.
That's it.
Well, how did it lose a point? Too much liberal propaganda.
Was there liberal propaganda?
No, I mean
there was a black person in this.
My movie's all woke now.
That's what the old guy next to me was saying. What is it with this liberalism?
These damn liberals.
These damn liberals
Putting colored people in my cinemas.
And I love how one of the main characters, this black woman in it, was also like 9 months pregnant. Black and
Dude,
pregnant.
she gets slammed against a bus, and I was like, oh, that's not good for the baby.
That's gonna be a great spin-off.
The autistic baby. That
You're
comes
gonna
out of
say
her.
retarded. Well, anyway, I guess that about does it. Go see the movie. It's really fucking good. You'll like it. Even
We
if
loved it, so you'll at least like it.
yeah, if we loved it, you'll like it. All right, and I guess that sums it up for this episode. Check us out on Apple Podcasts and Spotify under Degenerate Movie Reviews.
They can't if they're not already checking us out there, they're not going to hear this.
Check us out on TikTok.
You don't have to do this. I'm going to put
The
it.
Degenerates
I'll put it in the
1000.
description or something.
It'll go in the description. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'm Charlie.
I'm Clint Eastwood.
This has been another not good episode of the Degenerate Movie Reviews.
The better the movie, the worse the episode.
Yeah, that's actually true. Yeah, the better the movie, the worse the episode. The worse the movie, the better the episode. All right, we got to watch a dog shit movie next week.
Charlie Day, we're coming for you.